Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Nick Blazer here, coming at you with my first Indians notes. Now, basically, how this is gonna go, I'm gonna do one every week. Same with what I'm doing with the Cavs. We're gonna go through recent news. I'm gonna talk about some trades, some rumors going on. So today, I want to start off with who's a guy who is quickly becoming one of my favorite players on the Indians, Edwin Encarnacion. Now Edwin, over his last game, after his last 10 games, is batting .300 with 2 home runs and 9 RBIs. I think these stats really don't do justice to how much he impacts our lineup. Every pitcher, they have to game plan for him. There is no, you notice when they're pitching to Edwin, they're constantly aiming for that outside corner, and those pitchers know if they make a mistake, he's going to take advantage of it. Now, what I feel like Edwin has been doing lately that's been really helping his bat is he's not afraid to take the ball the other way, because that's where a lot of his power is. When you see him start pulling off of every pitch, that's when he'll tend to get more swing and miss to his game. And I think he needs to keep doing that because he's a centerpiece of this offense. And we'll go as he goes. Same with Lindor, Brantley, Kipnis when he comes back. Those guys are core parts of our lineup. And if they're going as a team, I think we have a great shot to win almost every time they go out there, and I think they realize that too. It starts with the bats. Our pitching, although it's been iffy in the back end of the starting rotation, Kluber, Carrasco, and for the most part Clevenger have been able to really hold this thing together before we get Salazar back, who's just been very impressive so far. I'm really hoping for either Josh Tomlin or Trevor Bauer to step up, as that is like an established fifth starter. I think, although we might not use them in a postseason series, depending on how Terry Francona decides to do it, I feel like in order to secure the AL Central with the rise of the Royals, the Twins, even though they're starting to fade a little bit, they've had a surprising season. You never know where they could go. I feel like Trevor Bauer or Josh Tomlin could be a big part to this team's success going down the road. And another thing I wanted to touch on here, Corey Kluber. I don't understand how this dude is not in the Cy Young conversation with the numbers he's putting up. So you look, for example, here, the last 2 months, June, 1.26 ERA. In July, 1.93. And this dude is just absolutely mowing down opposing lineups. And I understand how great Chris Sale has been, but I truly think that Corey Kluber has been right up there with him throughout the season. Minus the injuries, I can't even imagine what his stat line would look like. Now, getting back to talk about the middle part of the Indians lineup. So Michael Brantley recently went through a 54-game homerless streak. Now, this is something that did not get much attention while it was going on, but I think people are starting to notice that. That was something that was sort of concerning me as a fan who watches every game. I figured it was just a result of his injuries, which I'm just praying he stays healthy for the rest of the season. But I expect those numbers to continue to climb for him. His home run total, I'm assuming, I'm hoping for 16 from him this year. I think that might be a little high because of the slow start. But that's not really why Michael Brantley is so good. It's not his power numbers, it's his clutch hitting. For the last couple years, he has been one of the best hitters with runners in scoring position. And I think he will continue to do that, along with Jose Ramirez, who has just been unbelievable this year. Finally getting the recognition he deserves with his first All-Star nod, which was just, it was like, he's so deserving of it, but he's so underrated. People do not appreciate him how they should. I mean, this dude is hitting around 320 with 17 home runs right now, and you barely hear his name. Now, another big piece to this Indians offense is Francisco Lindor. Now, we know he's one of the greatest defensive players in the league right now, but he went through an extended slump. It was not good, and he knows that. He was trying to pull the ball too much, and I truly believe that his rise in power numbers has changed him as a hitter. I think he's finally getting back to his roots. In Lindor's last 10 games, he's batting .350 with 1 home run and 5 RBIs. Now, the home run and RBI numbers might not stand out that much, but I think it's worth noting that his home run was a walk-off, which was one of the greatest moments this season, next to Encarnacion's walk-off grand slam. I look for that average to definitely climb with him. I don't think he's going to go on another slump this season. I think he's really determined to get those numbers back where he wants it and become the hitter he was all of last year, and that will be key for the Indians making another deep postseason run. So, I'm going to jump into the trade rumors here. Now, all my sources have been MLB Trade Rumors, awesome website for this kind of thing. I highly recommend you go check them out if you're interested in this. So the Indians were linked to someone who was also very key to their postseason run last year, Mike Napoli, and I truly believe he was a big leader in the clubhouse and reason we were able to break out last year. I don't know how he would fit in with the team this year because Encarnacion's an obvious upgrade. You don't move him for anything at this point. Santana, he's getting better. He was off to a very rough start. He did not start picking it up until, I think, I want to say two weeks ago maybe, but his average is sitting around the 240 mark. I don't think Mike Napoli has shown he's the same hitter as he was last year. He's been on the DL a couple times, so I don't see how that fits. I don't understand it. I do not think the Indians will end up getting him, and if they do, I hope they don't give up any big pieces. So Justin Wilson is a name. He's a left-handed relief pitcher from the Detroit Tigers, having a very good season. Tons of teams connected to him, but he would be replacing Boone Logan as the lefty. He's much better than Boone Logan, but he would be replacing him in the bullpen, which that was kind of an ugly injury. Tore a muscle, I believe it was in his shoulder. Let's see. Some of the teams linked to Justin Wilson were the Yankees, the Brewers, the Astros, the Red Sox, the Cubs, the Rockies, the Diamondbacks, the Dodgers, the Nationals, and they have all at least checked in on him. Not saying all of them are in serious talks. I do know that the Yankees are the current front runner for them, for Justin Wilson. Not surprising with their just super deep farm system. Courtesy part of the... There hasn't really been any speculation to say who would go in a Justin Wilson trade if the Indians were to make a run for him. I don't believe it would be a major farm system piece. It wouldn't be a Mejia or a McKenzie or a Bradley, any one of our really big prospects in the system. So the last one here, Yu Darvish. Now, the big key in this, and we saw this last trade deadline with the Jonathan Lucroy trade, he does have a no-trade clause to the Indians, so we'd have to make sure he was willing to waive it. Ken Rosenthal did report that the Indians were interested in him, which, I mean, he had a really rough last start. His value is obviously declining. I don't know if I was the Rangers, I would just get as what I could for him, because the odds of him staying there, nobody really knows. Only the Rangers would know. And at this point, they're just trying to get what they can for him. Now, there are many teams interested in him, and the Indians are for sure one of them. I don't believe the Indians would give up a Mejia or a McKenzie for him, but I do believe they are interested and they will try and make a run for him as the deadline gets closer. We'll see, but I don't see them giving up a major piece for Darvish. He hasn't really shown himself this year to be much, and if we're renting him for half a season and we're trying to make a postseason run, that just doesn't make sense for us. Now, there has been other names mixed in with the Indians. Sonny Gray has been talked about for weeks now. The A's are looking for a top prospect, so I believe it would require Mejia or McKenzie. So that's all I got. Next week I'll go into more about Sonny Gray and maybe some newer trade rumors. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. It really means a lot, and I want to build this page up so bad. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next week.